So I'm getting a lot of messages about my Christmas project that I do. What I do is I go to a detention center. I'm actually the volunteer coordinator for that detention center. And I get guys to go out there every week to do Bible study and career speaking to the kids that are out there. Some kids did do something wrong. Some is armed robbery, some are homeless, but they're all these kids mixed in together. Now picture this. It's Christmas time. Your family doesn't come to visit you. No visitors, no gifts, nothing. You know, you're just sitting there. You know, it's Christmas. Come on, everybody has a heart, you know. You hurt, you know. Think about it, you know, it's really sad, especially to go out there firsthand, or if you have been in jail over the holidays or know somebody that has, or even been stood up on a holiday, you'll know how it feels to be alone. It's, you know, you should be with someone on that day. So what I do is there are 5 cottages out there. 4 boy cottage, 1 girl cottage, 21 kids in each cottage. So what I do is ask people for donations. I start with my volunteers and tell them to go out to their churches or their friends and ask for, you know, either a cash donation or to donate a product. So when I get money in, I go to the dollar store and get a $1 bag. And I ask people, you know, if you live in a cold state, you know how cold it gets. So if you go out and buy your kids a hat or yourself, pick up a hat for somebody else and donate it. You know, this was $1.49. You can see it right there. You know, they get a hat. We also we give them Bibles, and this is a jacked up one because it's been used so many times here. But it's actually a Bible it's a new version, like a new international version or something like that. But it's like a 3rd grade reading level, because most of the kids out there read at or below a 3rd grade reading level. So you don't want them to like open up a book and be like, oh, what does this say? You know, so it's easy for the kids to read and understand. Also, like, people are like, oh, you know, I don't have anything to give. Pray for us, man. I do this all by myself at Christmas time. I make like 105 bags, and whatever's left over, if like kids leave for the holidays or whatever, whatever left over, it's going to the homeless shelters. We don't really save too much here. Somebody always can use it. If you ever go to a hotel and see the little shampoo bottles, keep it. You know, save it, stockpile it. I got, like, somebody like sends me like this kind of stuff. This is what we need. You know, a lot of people just don't care. Some people, you know, you can go ask your dentist for a toothbrush. Got a bag of dental floss. You know, it might mean nothing to us. Like, we take everything for granted, but when you don't have anything, when you don't have anything, you really appreciate it, and people really need it, you know. I also got, from a church that I spoke at, a lady came up and said that she had bars of soap in her car, and that she didn't know what to do with them. We use this, you know. The kids need this, you know. We don't get a lot of funding, you know. We try to raise money, and with the surgery coming up, it puts a crunch on everything. I'll be out 3 weeks. That's 3 weeks that I could be raising money. But, you know, little odds and ends that people collect, we take those. You know, like I said, you know, this may seem a lot to you, but when you got to get 120 of it, it's a lot of hard work. So, you know, somebody came in with this. Not everything has to be uniform. You know, some people give shower caps, you know. We do that. And then, like, the bulk of the money goes to, we try to get all the kids a pair of pajamas. In the past, we took kids' pajamas and they put them on while we were there, and they stayed with them the whole time, you know. And the stories then afterwards, you know, the staff there was like, the kids stayed in the pajamas for like 2 days straight. You know, it meant something. It may not mean nothing to us because we have pajamas at home, but when you're snatched out of your house or you're homeless, you don't have that. You know what I mean? So I think it's just really important. The holidays are coming up. If you can't help my organization, help somebody else's. You know, pay it forward. Do something for someone else other than yourself. Life isn't always about us. It's about what we do for others. So if you're interested, come to www.nbap.com. New beginnings are possible, and you can donate on the PayPal or send it in. There's a click button there, and you can put Christmas or Christmas project, and you know, everything that we get, we use. Nothing goes to waste. Hardly anything gets stocked. You know, if this isn't accepted at the homeless shelter, which it will be, but if it wasn't, we would put it in there and wait till next year and we can use it again. So nothing goes to waste. And so that's my Christmas project that I do. And we also get, you know, since they're locked up, there's certain things that they can't have. But last year we got the okay to get alarm clocks. If somebody gets this for me for Christmas, I'll be like, oh, alarm clock, eh. But think of this, you're in a cell by yourself, there's nobody there, and you get to at least listen to music. You know, you don't have a TV in your room. You know, these are kids. Remember that, you know. And one story that always stuck out in my mind is I went there and I gave the kids my testimony and what I've been through in my life. And afterwards, I had a little girl come up to me. She was 11 years old, pregnant with her second child. She got pregnant when she was 9. She was a little girl, you know. And she had stretch marks all over her belly. And, you know, it's, who did that to her? You know, it's, I wish I could take you in there, but there's certain laws that I can't. You're so alone. You're so empty, you know. They need help. They need us, you know. So this is what I do. And if you can help, I'd really appreciate it. And the kids will too. And if you want to send a card to the kids, you can. You can send it to me and I'll put it in a bag. You know, I can't give out names of kids, but if you just want to make a general note and encourage them, you know, pray for them. They really, really need it. So this is my Christmas project. If you can't do anything to help me, I challenge you to do something for your neighborhood, for the kids out there, for the homeless. Do something for someone else. God bless you.